What's up everybody in YuGiOh YouTube land? This is Jesse Byrne representing Team FTK, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Lair of Darkness Infernoid deck profile. It's a really fun, control-y, anti-meta rogue deck, as you know we like to do on the channel. I wanted to let you guys go ahead and know that if you guys would like to help support us, we do have Patreon. Link will be in the description. All the money goes to helping the channel. Recently we got a microphone. If you guys can tell, the sound quality has improved, and it wouldn't have been possible without you guys supporting us and helping us out. Go ahead and give a shout out to all of our Patreons. We have the Creative Duelist, we have Michael, and then we have the Card Hunters crew, and we also have my good friend Chris B. So please go ahead and click the link in the description and become a Patreon. Also, we have PayPal if you want to help us on a smaller level. Anything helps out, and we really appreciate you guys. We are soon going to be hitting 1,600 subscribers, so maybe we'll have a giveaway for you guys coming up soon. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Ring the bell for the notifications and all that other good stuff. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so Infernoids is one of my favorite decks of all time. I've been playing it for years. I recently picked it up and included the Lair of Darkness engine in here, and I think it's really good to be able to control the board not only with your Infernoid monsters but with your Lair of Darkness monsters, and be able to set up just a amazing control element that just allows you to tribute your opponent's monsters instead of tributing your own Infernoids under Lair of Darkness, of course. And if you guys want to get a custom playmat like the one in this video, make sure to go to Inked Gaming, click the link in the description, enter the promo code TEAMFTK10 to get 10% off your order today. They also have a lot of other cool stuff like mouses and keyboards, dice, all different types of gaming merch. So once again, TeamFTK10, link is in the description for Inked Gaming. So I'm going to show you guys what I play, and yeah, let's get into it. So we start off the list by playing 2 Anunku. Anunku is one of your boss monsters in the deck. He is a Dark Hole on summon for all other monsters except for himself. Really good. You can also tribute him to negate a spell or trap. He's really good. He's the boss monster that is, you know, secondary to Infernoid Deviati. Deviati is a heavy storm on summon, and then also it can negate a monster effect and banish. Really good stuff. So it adds a control element, plus they're all heavy beat sticks, being 3,000 and 2,900. They're really good, and all that you need to do to bring these guys out is by banishing 3 Infernoids from hand or graveyard. Really good stuff. Then we have, of course, 2 Sizimus. I was playing 3, but I decided to cut it down to 2. He is basically your non-targeting spot removal. You banish 2 Infernoids to summon him. When he attacks, after he declares an attack, when you're ending the battle phase, you can banish a card your opponent controls. So it really helps you against those big boss monsters like Cosmos that are untargetable, to just get rid of them. Then we play one of the Entra, or whatever we call him. I like to call him Android because he's cheap and he's better than an iPhone. But basically what he does is whenever he attacks, he's like a Blackluster Soldier, where when he destroys a monster he can declare a second attack. So he's really good, and he's for like the OTK plays, and so you only really need 1, and you have pretty much access to all your Infernoids all the time because the deck is pretty consistent in and of itself. Then I play one of this guy, Seegis or whatever. I don't want to butcher the names, but he is basically just a target for Void Feast. He's really good because you need the 6 plus the 2 level 1s to get into your Void Feast combo. And then we play 3 Decatron. He is the MVP of the deck. What he does is he lets you send an Infernoid monster from your deck to the graveyard, copy its level and effect, which is really good. So you can have him just as like free negates whenever you activate Void Feast. It's really good. Then we play 2 Harmadic. Harmadic is an MST, or just a free pop. He's really good. You can't enter battle at the same time, but he's really important for getting into your rank 3 plays, because we do play a little bit of extra rank 3s in the deck to be able to mill and stuff like that. Then we play 2 Petrulia. Petrulia is another MST basically. He's spot removal. Really good card. He also helps you get into rank 4 plays. You just banish an Infernoid to summon him, and he's really good. Then we also have the one of the level 2. He's for setting up more rank 3 plays, because basically what you want to do is open this guy plus say Decatron and this, or you want to open Decatron plus Harmadic, and then you'll summon Decatron, send the level 2, make him become a level 3 because he gains the level. Then you want to banish this guy, summon Decatron, and then overlay for, or summon Harmadic, excuse me, and then overlay for like Dante or another rank 3. He's really good for just getting your rank 3 plays going. I've considered cutting him, but I always feel like I need that extra boost to play more rank 3s. Then moving on to the Lair of Darkness, we have the 2 of this guy. He's like the walking terraforming. You discard him to add a Lair of Darkness, but you can also tribute a dark monster on the field to either draw a card or search a fiend. So he's really good. He lets you search out your entire Lair of Darkness engine, but he's also good for draw power and consistency, as well as you can ditch him and get Lair of Darkness. I don't want to play 3 because I don't want to play too much of a cloggy ratio, so I only play 2 of each pretty much. So 2 Lilith. This is my personal choice for playing 2. If you guys want to play 3, you can. I personally like playing 2 just because it lets you get to your Void Feast faster, which is really good, and then you can just tribute a dark monster. So most of the time you're going to want to tribute your opponents, but you can tribute him, and then you'll be able to set a normal trap card from your deck, show your opponent 3 copies, they pick one, and then it gets set. So like always, it dodges Ash Blossom, dodges Draw and Logbird. It's a really good card. And then we have the 1 Diablos. I only like playing 1 Diablos because I feel like it's cloggy at times, but when he comes out, it really puts in work, and he's also another big beater and target for viruses, so he's really good. Then the last monster I play is the 1 Tour Guide of the Underworld. Tour Guide is really good in this deck just because you're able to special summon Lilith from the deck, so you're able to make a rank 3 play right off the bat, which is really good. And it's just always been one of my favorite cards. It looks really cool. I want to like include this into like a logo one day or a playmat or something, just because Tour Guide is like really badass. Then we have 3 Void Vanishments to start off the spells. Void Vanishment basically lets you discard a card to add a Void card, so it really helps you get rid of some monsters that are in your hand that you don't want. You can pitch them. And then it has another effect where it lets you, basically if your opponent battles your monster, or you battle a monster with an Infernoid monster, it banishes both of them. So it's really good to get over problematic monsters. And then it allows you access to all your Void cards. So speaking of which, we have Void Imagination. This card is the heart and soul of the deck. It makes all Infernoid monsters level 1, which is really good. But it also lets you fusion summon your fusion monster, which is Terra, which we'll talk more about later. But it lets you send them straight from deck, so you can send like 6 Infernoid monsters and just OTK your opponent. It's really good. This card, if you see it going second, you're going to win the game regardless, pretty much, unless they have like an impermanence or something to stop the Terra, or unless they like Ash this or something. You'll have a really good chance of winning just by opening this. All the times that I resolve this card, no matter what, I win. So if it works for me, it might work for you. Then we have 3 Lair of Darkness. This allows you to just control your opponent's field. You tribute dark monsters on your opponent's side of the field as if they're your own, and then it produces tokens, so it helps you link and it helps you go into a process that just basically controls your opponent and locks them down. This is one of the best field spells easily ever made, and I feel like it's totally underrated, but your opponent will never see it coming at all if you just activate Lair of Darkness. They're like, wait, what does that do? Sometimes people will be flabbergasted, they won't understand it, but basically you just tribute your opponent's monsters because they all become dark, so everything becomes dark, and it allows you to use your Infernoid monsters with your viruses, so it works out really well. Then I play 1 Void Seer. Seer is like protection. Nobody really plays this card. I feel like it's really good in Infernoids, and it's just like an extra way to protect your Infernoid monsters. Makes them unaffected by card effects, and then when it's in the graveyard you can banish it to stop them from being destroyed once, which is really good. So like if your opponent goes Widow Anchor, you chain this, make it where your Infernoid's unaffected, and then if they somehow do something to destroy your Infernoid, you banish this, make it protected again, so it's really good. And then I play 1 Monster Gate. The reason I play Monster Gate over Reasoning is because under Lair of Darkness, you can actually tribute your opponent's monster. So these two work out really good. because you'll just be able to tribute your opponent's monsters instead of using your own, and then you just deck out basically and get all your Infernoids engraved. Then we have the 1 card destruction, which is perfect for if you open a handful of Infernoids, you just discard all your Infernoids and then draw a fresh hand. This sucks if you play against like Dangers or something, because they're all going to get their effects. But most of the time you'll just discard your hand, fill up your graveyard with Infernoids, and keep on trucking. Then for the traps, 3 Void Feast. Void Feast is busted. Basically what it lets you do is special summon 3 Infernoid monsters from your deck, up to 3 Infernoid monsters from your deck whose levels equal 8, and it ignores their summoning conditions, so that's really good. And the only requirement for it is that you have to send a Void card. So if you send these to the graveyard, or if you send itself to the graveyard, you can resolve 2 at the same time. And I'll go ahead and just show you guys what you'll do whenever you activate Void Feast. So you're going to set Void Feast when you have like Banishment on the field. You're going to activate this, send this to the graveyard, and then you're going to special summon from the deck 1 Decatron, 2 Decatron, and then your level 6 right here. You'll special summon those, then you'll activate effect Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, and then you'll send to graveyard like Deviati and Anunku, so then negate spells, negate monster effects, negate traps as well. So you'll have 2 negates basically, plus a DD Crow during either player's turn, which is really good, and then you'll have access to sending these 2 to graveyard, so it works out really well. And then another thing you can do is if you resolve, if you already resolve one and you want to set up for next turn and you activate a second one, you can always special summon your Decatron again, and then special summon your Sizimus, because Sizimus is 7 and Decatron is 1, so it allows you to get further into your plays, and then off this you can send another Anunku or Deviati or whatever you want to send, depending on how you want to negate your opponent and twist their plays around. And then for the last 3, we play Epidemic Virus. This is like the best one in my opinion, just because it shuts down Sky Strikers like nobody's business, and it just makes it where they can't play. It makes it where you have to tribute a monster with 2500 attack or more. So it's a dark monster, so if your opponent has a dark monster, you can tribute theirs if you have Lair of Darkness, but also all of your Infernoids that are bigger pretty much are more than 2500, except for the level 6. So you still have like Sizimus and the other ones, see, they're all over 2500, so you just tribute these guys and you're able to just stop your opponent from playing down YuGiOh. And then the best part about Epidemic Virus and playing Void Seer is that they're all searchable by Lilith, so you'll be able to set this straight from your deck to your hand and your opponent won't be able to ash you. So good shit right there. So that wraps up the main deck. There's 40 cards in the main. So we're going to go ahead and go to the extra deck. We play 1 Tira. Tira is the ultimate boss monster for Infernoids. Basically, whenever you're going to summon her, you're going to use it off of Void Imagination, and you're going to be able to send 3 cards off the top of your deck. That helps you send 3 cards off your opponent's top of their deck, and then each player is going to send 3 cards from the extra deck, and then the 3 cards that you send from the extra deck is this one right here. This is like Norden, but Norden's cousin, who's not as good, that nobody plays because for reasons, but you'll get 3 pops off this. You'll send these to graveyard, and then they have the effect to destroy a card. So you can either pop your own Tira and then start special summoning Infernoids from the graveyard, because when you resolve Void Imagination, you're going to send 6 Infernoid monsters to the graveyard. Or you can just pop 3 of your opponent's cards with the Elder Entities. Rank 3s, we have Dante. He's good for milling, and Dante's always got that ass. And then we have Break Sword, just to pop cards. Then we have the Leviair, because you can bring back your banished Infernoids with it. It's really good. And then I play 2 rank 4s, 1 Abyss Dweller, good against Dangers, good against Salad, good against everything almost. And then we have the Minerva. Minerva is really good just to mill and to get more resources in the graveyard. This doesn't come up that often, and neither does Abyss Dweller, but I really like having the options of having some rank 4s in there, even though we only run like 4 level 4 monsters in the deck, so this works out good. Then I like to play 1 rank 7. I like to play Dracosack. The reason that we're playing Dracosack is because Tomahawk got banned. Rest in peace, Tomahawk. But I still want that option because we do have a lot of 7s in the main deck. We have a few 7s in the side deck, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But this is pretty good because it lets you special summon tokens. You can link with the tokens, or you can use them to pop your opponent's monsters. So Dracosack's a good option. If you guys want to include any other, thing for a rank 7, you can. This is just my personal preference. Really love this card. For links, I play 1 Nightmare Griffin because it's super easy to make him in the deck, and then you can get some of your trap cards back from the graveyard. I don't play any of the other Nightmares such as Unicorn or Phoenix or Cerberus, just because I feel like the deck already does a good job of removing spells and traps, so you don't really need to play the Phoenix. And then it does a good job of removing monsters with a Nunku, so you don't really need to play anything else. This is just good enough. So that's why I play the Nightmare Griffin, is just because I can get traps back and it's easy to make. And then I also play Trigate Wizard. The reason I like playing this is because I didn't want to play Deco Talker, and I wanted more of a 3 option. I don't want to go for rank 4s because it's more of a control deck, and this is really good to be able to make. I like this card. It's fine with me. Then I play 1 Doolittle Chimera. Doolittle Chimera is really good for boosting up fire monsters when you don't have Lair of Darkness on the field. But when you do have Lair of Darkness on the field, we go for the Wee Witch's Apprentice. And then we have the OG Synchro Boss Monsters, Cyframe Lord Omega. Really good for being able to recycle your resources during the standby phases. And also really good for sniping cards out of your opponent's hand. So that wraps up the extra deck. That's 15 cards. So moving on to the side deck. So before I go into the side deck, I do want you guys to know that I am not a competitive player. I don't even really ever play at locals. I mostly play with friends. So that's the type of thing that we like to do on the channel, is just have fun and do a bunch of rogue and anti-meta strategies and stuff like that. So this will have some things included that's good against the meta, but if you guys want to tweak the side deck to your preference, go right ahead. So Red Reboot, good against Altergeist, that's why we play it. A little extra trap hate with Trap Stun. This one is because it's searchable through Lilith. This one is not. So this is going to be really good just for stopping your opponents dead in their tracks. This one's going to be good for if you know your opponent's going to set 5 and pass during your turn, and they try to activate a bunch of like burn cards, like with the new Mystic Mine running around, you can just Trap Stun them. Then I have 1 Regeki to clear boards, just in case you don't have access to your Anunku right away. And then I have 3 Mystical Space Typhoons for the Mystic Mine matchup. You guys can play Twin Twister if you want. It's really preference. I just wanted to put these in here because they're pretty for one reason, and then for the other reason is because I can't find my Twin Twisters. I don't know if I traded them or what happened, but if you guys want to play Twin Twister, it's probably a better option. Then I play the second Seer in the side deck because I like it so much. I didn't want to main a second one, but I still wanted to side it for a little extra protection. And then the third Seismiss I side because I like to have more ways to get to Seismiss. So playing a third copy is one way, and the reason is because if I go against Cosmos or something like that in casual play, I can have the third Seismiss to be able to out there, big ships. Then I have 3 Pankratops. This card is really good against almost any deck. It's good against Sky Strikers. It's good against Altergeist. It's really good against Mystic Mine, assuming that, they don't have Mystic Mine on board. This card is really good just because it's a free pop and it's a 7, so you can get into your Dracosack faster. And then for the last 2 I play is 2 Chaos Hunter, and the reason we play this is because it doesn't affect you, it only affects your opponent from banishing. So if you're going against like a mirror match, or you're going against Thunder Dragons or anything that would banish, you just put this bad boy out there, and he's rank 7, so it helps us get plays out, and it lets you discard a card, and we always like discarding cards in Infernoids. So I hope you guys liked this video and hope you guys stuck to the end. If you guys really do want to help us out, like I said before, links are in the description to do so. And yeah, let us know what you guys think. Don't forget to ring the bell for more notifications, and please subscribe to Team FTK. This is Jesse Byrne representing Team FTK out.